Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I am McKinley412 here with Mega Roller 31. We have a 4-game slate here that we're going to be breaking down in this video. We do have a separate video out for the main slate, the early slate. I'm still not sure exactly what to call it, but the one half starting at 2:10 in the afternoon on Saturday, that large 10-game slate. But for now, just this 4-game slate here. No weather concerns that we have to be paying attention to at all. But Mega Roller, how are you doing? It's been a while since we've had a video together.
Yeah, and we've decided, hey, this is a great opportunity to do it. And we thought that the beef of the schedule would be at night, but no, it's kind of weird. It's almost like they're doing the Sunday thing on Saturdays now, but Sunday only has 1 game at night, and now we have 4 games. But hey, that's something we can break down together. We didn't think we'd get an opportunity until probably the All-Star break, but had some time tonight. So I'm just chomping at the bit to do something with somebody because TK is on vacation. So I got to do like 4 NASCAR videos alone this weekend. So it's great to have some company for once.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you here. So with no weather issues at all, I figured we'll just go through, kind of break down the pitchers here, who we're kind of interested in leaning towards. Hint.
Is that an option?
Yeah, it's not too great. And then we'll just kind of go game by game here and break it down since it is only a 4-game slate. But right up at the top, we got Julio Urias going up against the Cubs here at 9.5K. We both know by now, Urias at home, he struggles. His home splits are much worse than they are on the road, and it's kind of been that way through his whole short career. So what are your thoughts on him here before I say what's on my mind?
I don't know. I just think it's so backwards because, well, no, it isn't. No, because I had a theory on it before earlier in the season that he does better like when the Dodgers bat before he has to pitch. Which would that be, home or away?
But that would be away. He's pitching first, like top of the first inning, he's pitching.
Right. So when he's on the road, then he sees like before he gets to pitch, like where he's at, like he knows what the score is. So I think he's one that pitches better when he's got the lead or knows like how the game is going. But when the pressure is on him to set the tone, I just don't think he can rise up to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally possible. It's a good theory to go off of. I mean, I'm totally there with you. It just doesn't make any sense why he doesn't do well in this ballpark at all. I mean, he's got an okay matchup going against the Cubs. They do tend to strike out a lot. But looking at the other pitchers on this slate, that's pretty gross. Like, I'm not interested in Montas going up against San Francisco in that offense. That's right under Urias there. Obviously, we'll get to a play that I do like, and I have a feeling that you're probably on the same guy. But Urias, do you think he's going to be a cash play for you?
I don't know. At like 9.5, I look at the total in this like Red Sox and Yankees game, and I want bats there. So if 4-game or slate, there's really not a ton of value. So I mean, he's not 10K pitcher, but I don't know. It seems a little high for like 5 innings and like 6 strikeouts and maybe some win equity, but they got such a great bullpen that if any hint of trouble, he gets yanked.
Exactly. And we can kind of see that in his game logs here. It's just he's let up a home run in every single or his past 6 starts here, and he's only going around 5 innings and just getting hit. He's getting hit. He's not doing great. So at 9.5, I'm hoping for at least 20, low 20s. I mean, that's kind of the target there. I like to have that 2.5 times value. So I'm looking around 22, 23 points. Can he get that? The numbers say no. But who knows? Yeah, it'll be a struggle. Let's keep moving on here. Montas, I already said I'm not interested in him going up against the San Francisco offense. 24% strikeout rate. It's not bad. Comparatively to the rest of the slate, it's average. 9.2. Any thoughts on him?
I'd rather have the guy on the other side. I mean, it's like the tail of the same pitcher where they've had like single digit games recently but really good ones. But I think a lot of the, even though the A's can throw out like a completely right-handed lineup, I think there's more strikeouts in the bottom of this with like Andruas, who like I don't even know how he's still playing Major League Baseball. He's like just way past his prime. So he's like the Chris Davis, not from actually both Chris Davises of 2021. Because you had the one
Yeah,
of the rookies last year that had like 40 straight plate appearances and could get a hit, and then Chris Davis that was on the A's, and he was just terrible now too.
Crushed this, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'd probably go with Wood over Montas, and even with Wood, I'm not too interested in. Betting line, you got a -120 for the Giants, so Wood does get a little bit. He is pitching for the favored team here, but again, like you said, his floor is pretty much nothing. But he definitely can have those nice games where he can pay off his price tag for sure.
Well, we have to take two pitchers. That's the rules of the game.
We have to pick. That's
unless you're going with a reliever.
One pitcher. I think we're both on here. Going past Eovaldi, just because Eovaldi. It's a pick'em game. It's got the highest total on the slate, but right below him, my favorite guy on the slate, Lamet. What about you? Is that
absolutely
the same thing?
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, he's just the best point per dollar on the slate for sure. 7.3K. He has the highest strikeout rate of any of the pitchers on the slate. So he has that going for him. He's going up against Arizona, a team that has lost 22. It looks like it's about to be 23 tonight here. 23 games on the road. They haven't won on the road.
Oh, yeah, on the road. Yeah.
On the road, they've lost 23 in a row. It's going back to April 25th.
I think they're like 3-37 or something in their last 40. It's
horrendous.
It's bad.
It's horrendous.
It's like historically bad.
Historically bad, and their offense has been historically bad as well. Because in losing
really
streak,
didn't they just lose? Didn't they just lose like Goldsmith? It's not like they lost like a ton of players from this team.
I have no idea what's going on.
The humidor's finally working.
Kelly. Yeah. It's but Lamet for sure, number one pitcher. He's gonna be my first one. Do you have anybody else that you're interested in? Montgomery, Kelly, Mills. It's gonna be.
I said, I think Woods would be my SP.
Pick your poison.
Woods would be my SP too. Just the high total in the game. Like I think you can play Montgomery. He's got a short leash usually, and then Eovaldi. I mean, he could get blown up here. So I don't know. It's rough. Like, who's the closer for the San Diego Padres? Maybe I'll throw him in.
It's bad. It's bad. I do agree with you on that. But for sure, Lamet is going to be the guy I think I'm the safest on. And then after that, just kind of pick your poison. Wood, Urias. Even Urias is bad as he is, he does provide some bit of a floor here, I think. So if you have the salary to pay up for that.
Eovaldi has faced the Yankees this year, and he did put up 24 DK points. He only gave up one run. He got a quality start. He had 7 Ks. So, but then again, that
was earlier on in this month.
Yeah, the Yankees have gone through so many phases of injuries and who's in and out of the lineup. Like, I don't even know if it's comparable.
I was going to say, was that against the bad Yankees, though? I remember when everyone was freaking out about this team, just burned the whole organization down, and then all of a sudden they got good again. So,
yeah. I honestly think they like stash players, and I said this in one of the videos this week. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, like now some of the Dodgers come back, that it was like Betts and Turner's chance to get injured and be out for a little bit. It just seems like the Yankees
will make the playoffs anyways. Let's just kind of keep guys fresh, and that's what
it was like 2 years ago. Like Stanton and Judge, and they didn't play at all, and then all of a sudden, like miraculously, like 2 weeks before the postseason, like they're back. Kind of like LeBron was back for the Lakers at the end of the season. All like the NBA players are suddenly healthy for the playoffs, and they couldn't play all year. I just
it's a miracle.
It smells bad.
All right. Well, let's turn to we'll just go game by game here. First game up on my screen here actually is New York against Boston. This has the highest over-under on the slate. It's an over-under of 10, even money line. So you're looking at an implied run total of 5 for each of the teams. Do you lean one team over another here?
Well, if you guys have been watching our videos, like when I do it, I've said every single slate I've been stacking Boston and San Francisco for $1. So this is cool because it works out really well here. I don't have to play like the all day one. But usually when I do that, I usually make out really well because nobody plays the all day ones, and like the ownership on these two teams is usually like so low. So far this week, I've played I think $6 and I've made 67. So I mean it's not like thousands, but we're on our way. It adds up. But anyway, so I do like Boston here against Montgomery with the righties. Chavis is always very cheap leading off. Kiki's cooled off a little bit, dropped down in the lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if he let off, but I kind of, even if you want to do like a wraparound here, it's kind of cheap. Not that we're like paying up for pitchers, but like if you want to go like Kiki, Vasquez, like Dahlbeck, like he has been striking out a lot early in the season, but 2 weeks ago they like started putting like the batting machine like 5 feet away from him just so he had to like react so fast, and it's really helped him like hit better recently. So he still hits ninth, but I definitely think some of the righties in this lineup could get to him.
Absolutely. No, I'm agreeing with you here. I like the Boston side more than the New York side here as well. And really, Boston is not expensive at all. And it's like you said, we're not trying to jam in 10K pitchers at all here. But if you throw in JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Chavis, I mean, that could be your 1, 3, and 4 in the lineup there. Plug in Lamet. You're looking at 5K remaining for everybody else. That's including a pitcher. But if you throw in Urias, you're still looking at over 4.1K for everybody else.
That's nice. So
yeah, there's not really a salary issue here. So I like Boston. Agreed. All those righties going up against Montgomery, for sure. All right. Well, next game, Chicago Cubs versus.
What about the Yankee side?
I mean, I'm not interested in the Yankee side too much.
Actually, I'm kind of interested in them because if all these been reverse splits, like some of the righties, I really like against them. So I think a lot of players will look at it and be righty on righty matchup. I'm out, but I think that there's a 10 total for a reason. I think both pitchers get hit pretty good here.
All right.
Plus, it's one of the first games that like we haven't seen too much of this rivalry this year.
Yeah,
and I think when these two teams play, you can kind of throw the records out. It's almost like a derby in soccer. I've watched Liverpool and Everton play so many times, and it doesn't matter which team's doing what. It just seems like they just rise up to the occasion. So this is something special.
For sure. Hey, I mean, totally understandable. But as we go on, there's 2 other teams that I put ahead of the Yankees.
Okay.
But I totally get you. I mean, you got the Yankees hat on. You're ready to go.
Yeah, but I'm never a homer when it comes to DFS. Like I like cheering for them, but you can't. You lose too much money that way. You got to play with your head, not your heart.
For sure. All right, LA Dodgers versus the Chicago Cubs here.
That's better.
There we go. Now we're ready. Dodgers Cubs. Let's see. The over/under in this game is 9. This is the second highest over/under on the slate. Dodgers are a healthy minus 185 favorite. So this game, anybody interest you?
Favorite
on either side of the
favorite play here would be Patrick Wisdom. He just seems to be crushing left-handed pitching.
Wisdom is just he went 10 home runs already on the season.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. But he has definitely cooled off since he had that. What was it, like a 4-day stretch? Where
kind of reminds me of like the stretch that Bote had a couple of years ago. Remember when he came on the scene for the Cubs and he was just annihilating it?
Home run. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, Wisdom 3.4K, absolutely. And like we said, Urias, he really struggles at home, even though he probably might be just like in a vacuum, one of the best pitchers on the slate, he does have his fair share of struggles. So yeah, Wisdom for sure. I mean, I'm not looking too much at the Chicago bats. I think GPP for sure. Dodgers, I'm not even really too interested in. So I haven't said my two teams yet. But
Not
if I
even
was going to go with the Dodgers, huh? I was going to say, if I was going to do the Dodgers, it was going to be
Bellinger's still so
Muncy.
cheap though. He's like 3.9.
For sure. I mean, he's not hitting very well this season. He's hitting well. He's hitting better past week. But yeah, he's just way too cheap.
And I think people are starting to forget
And
about Lux because he's moved down the lineup, but he's still decent.
Yeah.
So okay, some options, some one-offs.
There's some value there. Yeah, some one-offs. But it's got an over/under of 9. I struggle getting excited about.
It's better when they played the Padres and the over/under was like 6. Each team was like 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else from that game though?
Nope. No, I mean,
right.
some of the I would take like a few pieces, like some of the Dodger lefties. I'd take some of the high hitting righties for the Cubs. Like if Contreras is leading off, I'm okay with him. If you want to pay up for catcher, for like 4K is not bad for paying up for catcher. Some of them are like 5, 6K sometimes.
That's true for sure. All right, well, let's move into my favorite team of the night for the bats. San Francisco
Arizona.
Against Oakland. No, it is not Arizona. That's you. But San Francisco, they're my favorite team. My favorite offense on this slate here, going up against Montas. Montas, believe it or not, among all the pitchers on the slate, he has the highest hard hit rate against. He's got a 45% hard contact rate against. Meanwhile, San Francisco just smashes right-handed hitting. They got 130 WRC plus, which is the second highest in the entire league. The ERA for Montas on the road is over 5, and he got worked in his last start. So his form is not the greatest. I think they could go a little under-owned, just because I think a lot of people are going to go for those Boston, New York bats or the Dodger bats that are early. So San Francisco, they're my top play of the night here.
Holy there's a 3-hour gap between these games. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at guys like Crawford, Yastrzemski, Dickerson. I mean, that's really the heart of your order right there. Even Posey, as a righty, he was
scratched tonight, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Okay.
It might be Casale, who's only 2K, so
unclear what the injury is. All right. Well, hey, I mean, he's still hitting very well. So if he's in, I think you can't go too wrong there.
Dodger's nice Dodger away leading off. So, I mean, it is definitely a relatively cheap stack.
Yep, for sure. So San Francisco, my top play there. Not too interested in the Oakland side, even though they are going against Wood, who can struggle mightily. But what about you? Who are you looking at in this game here?
Definitely. I'll be doing my normal stack of Boston and San Francisco for my $1 GPP just to stay consistent with it. And I've loved this team, and I just love the combination of Boston and San Francisco just because there's so many options at each position. Like it always works out to get me a decent pitcher. And I've kind of ended my affair with Wilmer Flores. I haven't played him in a long time, so Solano's my new favorite second baseman there usually. So, but no, I think they're having a tremendous season. It's not a great hitting park, but I think it's a great opportunity. Have to check the temperature quick to see what it's going to be, because sometimes if it's cooler at night, now the game's going to be in the 50s, so that's not the best hitting environment, but still, I mean, I think it's a good situation.
Awesome. All right, well, let's wrap things up here with the last game of the night. San Diego against Arizona. San Diego, a -270 favorite. That's just insane in terms of baseball here. It makes sense though. Lamet on the mound for San Diego. His leash has been getting longer and longer. If you look at his pitch counts, they're just steadily rising as we go on through the season, which is exactly what they said they were going to do with Lamet. Just kind of stretch him out as the season goes on. Arizona on this monstrous losing streak on the road, averaging just 2.6 runs a game on the road, going back to April on this losing streak. So I have no interest in the Arizona bats. I do have interest in the San Diego bats. It's your typical San Diego bats. Pham leading off. Guys like Cronenworth, Hosmer, Grisham, those lefties. I know you want to talk about Arizona, though.
They're only in the second right now, and they've already scored 5 runs tonight. And Cronenworth does not have a home run yet, but it's coming. It's coming. So if he hits one tonight, when we get to this late, it could be 5 nights in a row for a home run. So,
man, unreal. But I know
he's seeing beach balls out there.
Talk to us about Arizona. I know you want to talk about Arizona here.
I committed to playing them for $1 until they actually come out and do something. I figured it has to happen at some point. Even in the game they won, it still hasn't happened yet. So I think I will commit to that to another week. And as if it doesn't hit something by like next Saturday, then we're done.
They have 2 batters that are priced over 2,900. That's it. 2 batters that are priced above 2.9K.
And they have Josh Van Meter batting second. I remember it was like batting 9th for the Cincinnati Reds.
It is disaster zone in Arizona. I don't know what's going on.
But why? They're not that bad. Like, you can't tank in baseball. It's not like the NBA, the NFL, like where you get this great draft pick. Like, nobody cares about the MLB draft. It's like a bunch of college guys. Well, I mean, obviously it's college guys for basketball and football, but it's a completely different, feel than it is for like the rest of them. Like, I mean, there's some advantage to having high draft picks, but I don't see like why you would tank a season for. I mean, I've seen it happen with like the Marlins in Pittsburgh where like the revenue sharing, it doesn't matter. We just put 9 guys out on the field every single night and we, make money at the end of the season because the Yankees and the Red Sox and Dodgers overpay and we get our share of it. So
yeah, it does not make any sense. And it's not even like they're striking out a lot. In this whole losing streak, they're 12th. They're in the middle of the league.
Like middle of the road. You can't even target them for like Ks. They're not like Detroit, who's actually been doing better recently, but they're not even a high K team. They just can't put it together.
I don't know what's going on.
That's why I think it's just going to snap one night and they're going to score like 17 runs. Everybody's going to be like, how did that happen? And I'm going to be like, it was coming. I knew it.
Well, you heard it here and only here. Play Arizona. I do not share that sentiment.
Only in $1 GPP, nothing else. Not even a $2, just $1.
It's wild. All right. Well, that kind of wraps things up here. As always, hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe. We know a lot of our views are from non-subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, good luck in your contest tonight. Good luck in your contest this afternoon, whichever slate you are playing. And we will see you guys tomorrow in the next video.
Yeah, it's good to be back with you, McKinley. It was kind of fun. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
See ya.